death toll is already over 130, anticipated to be more. And, you know, frankly, this is like the new normal is we have a once in 100-year storm once or twice a year. And we are just simply not set up for this. We are not set up for these type of changes. But here is a perfect example. I mean, how many times have we heard a story like this? There were workers at a Tennessee-based company called Impact Plastics. People died there because they were basically, with Helene bearing down, a private enterprise is going to err on the side that is going to make them the most money, or, you know, not prevent them from making money. This is the story of those buses in Katrina. The outsourcing and the outsourcing and the outsourcing, the subcontracting to private enterprise to be responsible for those buses at Katrina meant that when the guy was like, the guy with the final contract, if I send those buses and they don't need them, and I send them, you know, 2 hours down the road and they're waiting out there, those buses are gone. The drivers are going to be costing me. I'm going to lose money on this. Private enterprises, job number one is always make money, not protect your workers, not, you know, create a situation for the community. That's what it is. Yeah. And here is this worker from Impact Plastics in Tennessee, interviewed by News WCYB.
Have you seen the statement the plastic company sent out? When you saw that, what's your first thought?
It was anger, hurt, it was lies, it was just frustration.
What really happened that day?
We were all working and the power went out, and I got a text right when the power went out from another employee saying that the parking lot was flooded. I started walking up towards the break room. That's where you walk out at, to the parking lot. And I seen the parking lot flooded, and I was like, what do I do? And I told me move my car. I said, move my car. So I moved my car to higher ground, which it was still in water. There wasn't no at all dry ground in that parking lot. I got out. I said, can we leave? And the woman said, no, not until I speak with Jerry. About 10 minutes later, she came back and said, y'all can leave. It was too late. We had one way in, one way out. And when they told us we could leave, the one way out was blocked off. So we were stuck in traffic on that road waiting to see what we were going to do, because everybody knew it was just one way. And then we turned around, we all finally got turned around, and some people going up this big old train road, four-wheel drive were getting up there barely, and people were getting stuck trying to get up there. So they sent us down, so some of the other employees from another company sent us down. They said they cut open the fence on 26, so we went down there. And as we were trying to go down there, I lost my car and started floating down the river. Well, we didn't know what to do. We were in panic mode. So the water was coming up, and then we did what we had to survive. It was a guy in a 4x4 came, picked a bunch of us up and saved our lives, or we'd have been dead too.
What does that feel like now to be, you know, one of the, few that made it out? I don't know how many.
It hurts. It hurts knowing that they didn't make it and I did. I don't know. I mean, it just doesn't seem fair to me that they didn't make it.
What would you say to the company?
Why'd you make us work that day? Why? We shouldn't have worked. We shouldn't have been there. None of us should have been there. And that's what I should have said to them. Why did you make us work when you knew, you said in the statement you were monitoring it? Why did you make us stay and work?
Is there anything else? You want?
I mean, when they told us we could leave, it was just too late. I mean, there was no way out. Some people made it out with four-wheel drives, but if you didn't have four-wheel drive, or if you were stuck in that line I was stuck in, it was too late. Because, I mean, like I said, my car got washed down the river.
This is like reminiscent of COVID and, like I say, Katrina. The idea that these workers feel so compelled and are so insecure in their status as working at this place that they can't even exercise that judgment of being able to say, like, I don't think I should go into work today. Like that, there is no margin for error for them. If they don't go into work and there's no 100-year catastrophic flood, they get fired. So if they're going to stay out from work, you better hope. That's the situation that they're placed in.
Yeah, I'm not sure if they're a unionized workforce, but
well, I would bet you everything they're not.
Yeah,
not in Tennessee.
I mean, I'm reminded of the Kentucky candle factory where 8 workers died 2 years ago because they weren't allowed to go home during a tornado, and that same tornado also killed 6 Amazon warehouse workers in Illinois. And then when you mentioned COVID, I'm reminded of, was it Dan Patrick, the lieutenant governor, who said that in Texas, where essentially he said that some people would have to basically be sacrificed for the economy to keep going.
We said old people would be sacrificed, but then we proceeded to sacrifice both old people and workers.
But that's essentially how they view their workers, at least in terms of how they treat them.
That's what the prevailing narrative is by all these Restore the Republic grifters, like Bobby Kennedy, Russell Brand type of people. The problem with COVID was the shutdown, and they didn't let businesses continue operating. Yep. Not that a bunch of people were maimed and killed by a virus.
Hi, folks. Hey, you've heard me criticize how the mainstream media across the political spectrum either fails to report on important stories or prioritizes their own bias over balanced and comprehensive news coverage. Well, that's why I use Ground News as a solution on a daily basis. Longtime sponsors gather related news and add important context so you can understand how each outlet reports on it and maybe sometimes skews the facts. This, and being so close to the presidential election, you're going to see rhetoric against Harris and Tim Walz is only going to intensify. So I can't recommend enough that you check out Ground News's election page. My Vantage plan gets me access to their election-focused blind spot feed and diverse perspectives on each candidate so I can find the truth on who they really are, not just hear the loudest, most biased opinions. And areas where, frankly, the left or the right is not covering. For each story you read on their platform, you're going to find article Ground News found reporting on it, as well as tags to the next source indicating if they're independently owned or not, how credible their reporting is, and if they have any political bias one way or another, making it really easy to critically analyze different perspectives and come to your own conclusions. Their mission aligns so much with what we try to do on this show. We try and make you more media literate. So I can't recommend enough going to ground.news/majority or scanning my QR code to subscribe. Ground News is independent and subscriber supported. My viewers, however, will save 40% on the same Vantage plan that I use for unlimited access to all their features on a daily basis. Hey, folks, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and check out our daily show. We do it every day at 12 p.m. Eastern for about 2.5 hours. We even take phone calls. You should check that out.